Old School, which was the start of Will Ferrell's comedic stardom in film. He's coming like right off SNL. I think he might have still been on that one more season of SNL. And then he did Old School, where he's not the lead character, but he's the funniest part of the movie. And this just created his new film persona of being the most ridiculous comedic actor alive.
We're going streaking
Through the quad into the gymnasium. Ridiculous premise of a movie.
We were quoting this in middle school.
If you think about it, like objectively, it's a very creepy movie where these dudes like move into a college neighborhood and start throwing college parties. They're like 40 years old.
Yeah, I know the people at the parties are all adults, but it's really, really weird.
And then we have Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Not only was this a superstar-making role for Will Ferrell, but it might be the best movie of all time when it comes to cameos. There are so many great cameos in this movie, especially the news anchor fight. We have so many great comedians and actors in that as well. But I mean, just the concept of Anchorman, the opening credit sequence, it gets you into the mood of like you're about to watch one of the funniest movies of your life. Ron Burgundy is one of the most ridiculous characters of all time, and we were like entering a new like world of comedy, and Will Ferrell was definitely leading it.
Yeah, Ron Burgundy might be like the crown jewel of comedy characters. He's just so ridiculous and unrealistic, but so much fun to watch. And the improvisation, this is Will Ferrell just doing what he does best. I think he might be the best improvisational comedic actor of all time.
You know I don't speak Spanish. Baxter, you ate a whole wheel of cheese?
I remember in school, everybody was saying, and it's not just a couple of quotes, like there are so many quotes in this movie that everybody would say constantly.
Because it came out when we were in high school, 2004.
Yeah.
And then it was still popular when I went to college.
Yeah.
People were still talking about it.
Yeah.
It was that popular.
It had a high rewatchability. That's why.
It might be the most rewatchable movie of all time. It's ridiculously funny.
Yeah.
The most quotable movie on this list, possibly.
I think so. Next up, we have Zoolander, another Ben Stiller film. I think that this movie is just genius the way it spoofs the film industry and models, not just saying models are all dumb, people who look beautiful, but also spoofing like the nature of the film industry. And you know, Ben Stiller crafted this hilarious, goofy, silly story while also making a great comment about, you know, factory work across the world. It's very subtle. People don't really connect it, but that's what this film is making fun of, and it has a lot to say while it's making you laugh constantly. And Ben Stiller as Zoolander, again, iconic comedic character.
I think they're breakdance fighting. Who am I?
I don't know.
Great cameos as well. We have David Bowie in this, and like Natalie Portman. It's ridiculous, so funny, an absurd character. And, you know, Ben Stiller is one of the best of all time in the comedy world. And he's an icon. Zoolander's hilarious. Or you didn't think I knew what a googly was.
I heard not too many people read your Time magazine.
You have 3,000 messages.
That is a bit above average.
Next up, we have This Is the End, which is a more recent film in this section. This Is the End is just, I think, kind of genius and hysterical, where all these actors are playing comedic or satirical parodied versions of themselves and having fun with it. And it's also throwing in post-apocalyptic end-of-the-world scenarios. And it's just ridiculous. It's so funny. Everyone in this movie is hysterical. And I love watching this one.
Not everyone loves this. To enjoy This Is the End, you have to love the guys.
Yeah, I guess.
So if you're fans of theirs and the Judd Apatow movies, then this is a perfect movie for you.
Because maybe some people don't get some of the jokes.
I've definitely known people who they aren't big fans of this and they didn't really understand it.
I guess that's right. Because if you know the characters and the actors so well, you know they're playing hilarious versions of themselves, like Jonah Hill. Because he had just gotten an Oscar nomination for Moneyball, he's like now a super pretentious, thinks he's an important actor. He's like,
fake nice guy.
Jonah Hill, J-Bones, America's Sweetheart. They'll save actors, Clooney, me, if there's time, some of you. But also he wants to kill like Jay Baruchel.
Please God, please kill Jay Baruchel.
Why did you make him? Like what happened that day? I think he's the worst person you've ever made. It's hysterical. Franco, Craig Robinson, Seth Rogen. Everyone's so good in this movie.
Love it.